Of the Yakuza games, the most elusive are the two PSP games. There's very little information to find about them online, no walkthroughs, and they were never localized, so I'm on my own, so to speak. I've started playing the first one, but I'm not close to beating it yet, and I need to get a component to RCA adapter to be able to record PSP footage, so a review is not going to be possible for a while. But I still want to get some information out there, so here are my impressions so far of Kurohyou Gotoku Shinshou, or Yakuza PSP. The game was released in 2010, between Yakuza 3 and 4. It's set in Kamurocho, but has little connection to the main series, apart from a few cameos. I've come across Yuya and Doc Emoto so far, and I've heard that the florist makes an appearance at some point. Since the game is in Japanese, I'm not entirely sure if I've understood the story here, but I'll summarize what I've picked up so far. Tetsuya Ukyo is the main character, and unlike Kazuma Kiryu, I don't find him very likable. Literally within 2 minutes, he's punched both of his friends in the face. Nice. He then, for unknown reasons, barges into a Tojo clan office and beats up some Yakuza, kills their leader, and follows it up by laughing like a madman. Later on, he's caught by another Tojo captain and blackmailed into fighting in underground cage matches. The cage matches seem to be equivalent to boss battles, and they move the story along. I'm assuming Tetsuya will break out of this blackmail situation eventually, and uncover some intrigue and power struggles as per Yakuza traditions. Because the game is on PSP, they didn't have room on the UMD for a bunch of 3D cutscenes like the main series. Instead they opted for comic-style graphics, and I have to say they look great. But the cutscenes are very long at times, almost Metal Gear Solid long. Also as a space-saving measure, Kamurocho is navigated in pre-rendered graphics with fixed camera angles. It looks fine though, although Kamurocho seems to be set on permanent rain mode. The fighting system is entirely different to the main series. Apparently it's based on Def Jam Fight for New York. I haven't played any Def Jam games, so I couldn't tell you if that's true or not. Anyway, this fighting system makes the game feel more like a fighting game than a beat 'em up. I guess the biggest difference to the main series is that you can switch fighting styles and level up. Your main level and style level you upgrade via experience points, but you can actually buy more punch, kick and throwing power from some guy who I suppose is supposed to be the Komaki of this game. The fighting expands on some aspects of the main series, which I think is nice. The quick step, if used in combination with a direction and a punch or a kick, will produce a stronger attack, and it can be used as a dodge and counter. And holding down the punch or kick button does a harder sort of charged version. You can still pick up stuff off the street to use as weapons, but unfortunately there doesn't seem to be any heat moves associated with weapons. Only in throws as far as I can tell. Heat moves overall seem more fixed and less contextual here. Lastly, a very minor thing they improved is that if you're holding something at the end of a fight, Tetsuya will throw it away, unlike Kazuma or others who just keep holding it. Really inconsequential, I know, but I notice stuff like that. I have sort of mixed feelings on the fighting system. When it's all flowing, so to speak, it feels good, and being able to block while moving is finally available. Then at other times it gets annoying, mostly during the boss battles, because they can and will counter, block and throw you, and the quick time events are bad. It feels like I need a turbo controller most of the time. Also, for no reason, the enemies have no visible life bar. Why not? It makes me nervous. Still, it feels like there's real depth to this fighting system, and I think I might get more and more into it as time goes on. You can do some extra work here and there for money, which comes in minigame form, like stacking ice cream, taking burger orders, or acting as crowd control at a strip club. Yakuza 5 has these as well. Karaoke is ruined here though, because instead of it being a rhythm music game, you just mash the circle button until you win. Lame. The main series had locker keys you could find all over Kamurocho, but here you collect cats. Not sure why, because Japanese, but I'm sure there's a good reason. So, what are my impressions of this game then? Well, I'm not finding it quite as fun or interesting as the main series, and I think Tetsuya is a jerk, but I still think it's a quality game, and I think it will probably keep growing on me.
対するはもう奴に説明はいらないぜ。あのヒューガを下した男。オン・ザ・ヘッド